Hello everybody, and welcome to part 3 of our hash table generator video. And if you don't remember, in the last part we actually worked on the actual Ajax and JavaScript stuff. So we actually have 2 more parts to go, one for the PHP, and then the final part will be styling the table to make it look nice like mine did, but even though mine looked pretty crappy. So right now we have a blank PHP document, with the PHP tags. So if we were to save this and run it, our application would do absolutely nothing. So let's start working on this. So first of all, we need a conditional to make sure we actually got sent the variable for a word. So we have the if is set, and then we're going to put in the word post. So that's the big if that's going to contain all the conditions and all the functions and stuff we're going to run. So that seems simple enough. If is set the post variable, and if it is, we are going to start out by setting the word variable equal to the posted word. So this is easier for us to reference later on in our programming. Next, we're going to echo out a big table and the table headers. So let's use an echo and put a couple spaces in and go back up. And let's put in a table, and it's going to have a width. Actually, now alright, whatever, we'll do it. Width of 100%, and it's going to have a border of 1, cell padding of 0, and cell spacing equals 0. So that's what we need right now. And then if you want to put another tab in there, let's add the table head and a tr. So this is the row, this is our header row. So we're going to have some th tags. So we're going to have the th, and its scope is going to be equal to column or col, and this one's going to be called the hash type. And then we're going to have another one, and it's going to be called the function. And we're going to have another one, which is going to be the length. And another one, which is going to be the hash text. So, now we're going to actually close all our stuff. So that's all we need for right now, and make sure you put a semicolon here or you'll get some errors. So right now all we did was we echoed out a table, and this is what's going to create the table itself. And then afterwards, after all the logic and stuff I'm going to go through, we're going to echo out the end table tag. So basically this is pretty simple. We're just going to use a special function that the OpenSSL and the hash classes come with, and we're going to put those in a for each loop. So if you don't know what for each loop is, basically what it does is it loops through an array with a certain variable set as the return values of that array. So the first for each loop is first set up your for each loop just like that, and the syntax of it is array as key, something like that. Or so we have a function in the hash, and it's called hash algos, and what that does, it actually returns every hash sort of function you can use, and basically to use them you actually put them in a function called hash. So you'd set a variable equal to hash, and you put in your parameter here, like what hash type you want to use, and then the word you're hashing. So it'd be just like that. So we're going to leave that for now because we're going to use that later. So we have hash algos, and then we're going to put in as v. So this v variable is going to be, every time it loops through, it's going to be the actual parameter for what hash we're going to use. So in this r, we're going to put r equals hash and v, and then our word, and false. So basically what this is going to do is it's going to hash the word, whatever word we want it to hash, and it's going to use the hash algorithm that is put in. So now we need to start doing some things that'll help us echo out all the information we need. So first let's make actually a new array, because this is the only way I got this to work. We're going to give actually the tables IDs, because it actually could help later on if you wanted to, say, put some special JavaScript in the tables. So you have an array and it's equal to v and hash, and then we're just going to call the ID. We're actually just going to join that array. So that's actually a special function that turns the array value, or all the array values into one big string. So that's how you'd get an ID out of the like whatever you're doing, and then plus the word hash. For the OpenSSL one, we're gonna use OpenSSL right here. So if that doesn't make any sense, it doesn't need to. You don't need an ID, but if you want one, you can have one. So next, we're gonna use a function called printf, and this allows you to do some nice formatting stuff, and it seems pretty easy, and it's simple enough to learn. So in single quotes, we're going to put our table row, and its ID is going to be equal to %s, and we're going to close it off. And then that %s, it represents a string variable. Well, first we need double quotes before it, or it's going to look bad and not work. But that %s is going to equal to a string variable. So let's put in the string variable we need. So the string variable, the ID, is ID. And basically what's happening there is it's actually creating a excuse me. It's like if you're using Python, sometimes you can do this, but you use the % and then different things to represent variables. So the S is a string variable, and I'll show you the number soon. So next, what we're going to put in is I think it was, hash type. So first we're going to put in the hash type, so that's a new table. And this one's going to be equal to a %-12s, and that dash left justifies it, I think. And it's going to be equal to v. So this is going to output what type of hash function we're using. And then the next one is going to be printf, and I think it's the function. So this one's just going to be hash, like that, and it's going to tell us we're using the hash. And then finally, we are going to do the length. So this one's td, and it's going to be %3d. And what that does is it's a actual it's a number variable, and the 3 is number of characters, or max number of characters, or something like that. But next, we're going to use the function strLength, and it's r. So the strlen, it basically gets the number of characters in a string, and it's the easiest way to do this, and it's the probably only way to do this. So that's what we're going to use for that. And then next, we need the hashed text. So this one is pretty simple. It's just another big string, and you put R in here. So that's basically how you do it, and you have to make sure you end your table row. So actually, that seems pretty self-explanatory to me. The response text is going to be all this stuff we're printing out like this. So let's run this and see if we get any errors. Not Control F. Let's save it. Let's go to my hash application, reload the page, and let's type in JF whatever. See? And it's working fine. It has our generated table for what I have typed in, and it has a nice gradient in the background because I have transparent colors, and it's using the hash, and it has all these different functions: MD2, MD4, MD5, SHA1, and so on. So if you wanted to just grab one of these for, say, random password, you could. Alright, now let's do the same exact thing for the OpenSSL, and it's the exact same logic. So I'm going to copy all this, and I'm going to create another for each loop, And this one, the method for OpenSSL is OpenSSL underscore get MD methods. And it's the same thing as V. And let's just paste in all this information here, because there's really no need copying it or redoing it. And this one where it says hash is going to be OpenSSL. Where it says hash here, it's going to be OpenSSL or OpenSSL digest. I'm sorry. And this function right here is going to be OpenSSL digest. So that seems simple enough. Let's save it. Let's see if we got it running. Refresh this. Type everything in. Let's go all the way down. And hold on. Unknown signature algorithm in hash.php on line 28. What am I doing wrong here? Oh yeah. In OpenSSL, you don't need this false, and the word actually comes first, and the V comes second. So it's actually different parameters and stuff. So let's save this, run it, refresh it, RF, whatever, and there you go. It's working fantastic. So my bad, guys, on the parameters messing up. On OpenSSL, it goes word first, and then the algorithm you want to use. So that's the basic PHP, and also at the end of this, let's echo the end tag for the table just to get, just because, and save this. And that is, I think that's it. This is a real quick part 3, and join me back in part 4 for the actual styling of the table. Yeah, that's about it, guys. See you in the next tutorial.